G'day and welcome to another edition of the Aussie Ideas Man, more specifically part 2 of Watch Modern Sunlight, my evaluation of this clown that calls himself Modern Sunlight. Don't know how far into it I'm going to get, but here we go. Oh, the last thing where I got to is where he said the writing on the wall.
The writing's on the wall. This company is in a downward spiral, and I don't know how it's going to recover personally. Personally, I think the only two outs, there's like a very narrow set of circumstances that could occur. One of them is some type of Gull Wings in Mo Clip's character who claims to be philanthropic. In other words, all the money he's donated, he doesn't expect to get back or want to get back. He just wants it to be a donation to the cause, quote unquote. If that's not cult behavior, I don't know what else is. But yeah, you might as well join a church and just donate 10% of your tithings, or your income to tithings.
This is a very poor analogy. I don't believe that somebody who thinks they're donating to a startup EV company is the same as people who think they are paying 10% to their church or making whatever donations they make in whatever way the church requires them. I believe there's a scripture in Malachi from memory. I'm not that much of a scriptorian, but I believe in Malachi there's a scripture that says, or is it Amos? I don't know. But it says, bring me all the tithes into the storehouse and prove me. Something to do with if I won't pour down a blessing upon your head, that you wouldn't have room enough to receive it. So on the one hand, the Gull and all these other gullible fanboys are saying that they are happy to make it a donation with no reward, that it's a gift and nothing more. Whereas the other people, the religious people, are using faith. It's proving God. It's expecting a reward. The two aren't the same. Once again, chalk and cheese or not comparing apples with apples. I believe if somebody is to make analogies and say it's like this or that the analogy has to be true. It has to represent the same thing. That's what analogy means. Something that is the same in principle as something else. And the principles are different here. One is saying, I'm happy for this to just be a gift. And the other one is saying, I'm proving God and I expect God to come through. One is exercising faith, one's just being an idiot. The other one is just being an idiot. And we know who the idiots are. It's not the religious people. I've heard analogies like this before by him, and I've commented, and he's removed the comment, but he can't remove this.
Whatever, but that's his take on it. So yeah, it's a religion to him. It sounds. I mean, that's one check on the box. Anyways, but unless some philanthropic, and there is a potential here. I mean, I've seen there are 2 or 3 documentaries out there where Bill Gates is needing some type of redemption, and he's putting the inside Bill Gates' brain. I think is one of them. Another one is I can't remember what the other one is, but there's several of them where he's doing sort of damage control of his bad business practices and behaviors over the decades, where he was kind of the first to become a multi-billionaire, and it shocked everyone at first, and everyone kind of gradually. I don't think it shocked too many people. I think it was in the age of greed is good economics, and he was a hero. There were the emails circulating about Michael Jordan versus Bill Gates, nerds rule, all these statistics about how much money Michael Jordan makes, but then he'd have to save 100% of his income for 200 years to equal the net worth of Bill Gates, and everyone nerds rule. And it was kind of it was sickening in some of the ways, because nobody really understands that impact to society. But regardless, this isn't politics. This is just a simple company trying to make its way through.
And this is why I say he's a bit of an idiot. All of this about Bill Gates and greed is good in the 80s and comparing Bill Gates with Michael Jordan, all of these are pretty much irrelevant to his cause here. He's trying to evaluate what the cretin is doing wrong at AOC, and he's off on so big a tangent that I just can't follow it. It's all irrelevant. It's meaningless. There is no way I can compare what either Bill Gates or Michael Jordan has done with what the cretin's doing on this video. No way in the world. So the waffling on is completely useless. I would rather when somebody evaluates somebody else that they at least stay on track somewhat. If anybody can explain why it's relevant, I'm happy to be corrected in the comments.
I do appreciate these guys and what they're trying to do, obviously, or I wouldn't have invested in the first place. But I've always had concerns and felt very silenced in being able to voice them. And I'm not trying to voice them at the tail end here to say, ha ha, like Aussie Ideas guy did to me on my channel, uh, over.
Now, everybody's problem here is, who are familiar with his channel, is that they don't know what I said ha ha about. And to tell the truth, I'm the Aussie Ideas man, and I don't even know that I said ha ha. I have written comments, he has deleted them, but I don't ever recall me saying ha ha about anything. He has just got corrections to his own mistakes. So, Modern Sunlight, why don't you drag up these comments that I've made and prove that I said ha ha about something in my comments section? You're free to do it. You won't get blocked.
The fact that I was like, well, I am invested in this company, and so anyways, none of that. Moving on to his latest. So he's titled it "A Few APTERA Departures." There were actually only two announced. There might have been a couple more behind the scenes, and APTERA as a Halo project. So he was almost defending, in my opinion, the activity of APTERA to go overseas, both with the bank in Europe and to Korea with the, well, they call it a production intent, but it's not. But the mostly completed, actually, they corrected themselves, substantially complete production intent vehicle design and only design, as they say in here. This is their latest annual report, which came out just a few days, just like March 11th, I think. Yeah, 2 days ago. So that's what I wanted to go over more. But I also wanted to go over and point out the real, I don't know. So in this one about Tello, he really does highlight and sound very impressed over the low amount of money that they had to raise to put together this entire truck. It seems impressive when you're talking about them raising over $100 million for APTERA and have yet to produce a complete vehicle. Yeah, there is a question in there, but he doesn't pause on it. He just kind of goes over it, doesn't compare it to APTERA and its expenditures and costs. So I think it's minimizing some of the severe criticisms that are legitimate against the company. That's the behavior pattern that goes on here. It's slight, but it's enough to keep an interested party. Maybe not today, because I think the most satisfaction I got was a post by Bill Smith, 99 something something.
Well, that'll be the end of this one. He's starting to get to his point. His point being that, and it's the same point as I've said in my first part, where I have constantly shown that the cretin will mention something that is on the negative side, but he does it in a way that does play it down. And he overbalances the rest of his videos with positives that are rather weak, but he overemphasizes them. And so any non-thinker, any gullible person will take from the video that things are fine overall. So all that negative is just to grab someone's attention. And the overall theme of the video is to steer them in his direction. Now that's about as succinctly as I can put it, but I think that's a lot clearer than what this clown is trying to do in his, I don't know, pretty long video. So that's all for me this time. Bye for now. Stay safe. Till part 3.